Hello everybody, welcome to a very quick preview of round 7, but a quick review of round 6. Normally I do review on preview the other way around, but I stuffed up. Doesn't matter. It's a review of round 6, it's a preview of round 7. Quick one that we're going to do today due to mixed orders. We had some very, very close game, and we had a couple of low scores from teams that you wouldn't expect. So let's get to it with the first game of round 6. And it's the Gods. They defeated Sugar Daddies 405.5 to 340. This is actually the first time the Gods have actually scored over 400 all year. But they remain undefeated and they are 2 games clear on top of the ladder. So pretty amazing performance, pretty consistent performance really. Sugar, they're the reigning premiers and they are languishing second bottom, but they're only 1 game out of the 5. So they've got a little bit of work to do there. So let's have a look at the 3 bets for the Gods. This week, Pickett, who put on a show for his new team, or his future team in Freo, he got 56 as a full forward. Atkins, once again, solid, very solid as a tackler, got 55. And Rosie, who is enjoying his move down at half back, he had a pretty good game there in the midfield with 55 points for Gods of Olympus. For Sugar Daddies, was Zeri, whatever you want to call him, he got 44 as a ruck, and Miller and Dale both got 57 as midfielders and followers, or mid and follower. Nick Barnes was a bit stiff to miss out, but I'm only choosing 3. So if we look at the optimised lineups, we can see actually Miss actually gets a game after his poor performance all year. He goes into full forward, and Pickett will actually be the utility, and Elijah Hewitt makes his first Footywired team. For Sugar Daddies, Zeri would have been a good tackler this week, and the forward line will be completely changed compared to what he actually played. So let's go to the next game. Alright, now this game, it looked like it was going to be a very high scoring one on paper, and both teams are a little bit limp, to be honest. Bombers Forever, they steadied after losing their 4 forward. They got the win over Renegades, 347 to 292. Look, it's hard to find 5 good players here, with the standouts probably being Jerry McGovern. He got 67 as a halfback. 2 other players that stepped up for Bombers, Chera, 49 as a follower, and Roadbottom got 39 as a tackler. For Renegades, a little harder to find 3. So, look, we went with these 3. Sicily, he wasn't having his best game, and while he was placing bets on the Cats to win, he did get 45 as a halfback. Henny, he wasn't great, but better than the others out there. He got 28 as a tackler. I suppose the only player that did do well was Oliver, and got Henny got 28 as a half forward, and Oliver did really well. Probably the best player for Renegades. He got 37 as a tackler. If we look at the optimised lineups, well, the Bont makes his return. He got off the pine. He goes a full forward. And Roberts also gets off the bench and he goes into the midfield. Other players, they all swap around a little bit. For Renegades, did I say Renegades? Renegades, Warple would have been an amazing tackler this week, and he gets into that position. And there would have been a shuffle of a few other positions there as well. It would have got a competitive score than 292 anyway. So now, game of the round. And it is the game of the round, and in the complete opposite to the last game, where this one was expected to be low scoring, the other one was expected to be high scoring, this one had the high scoring game and had plenty of people to choose from for a top 3. This game was decided by a stat correction after the last game of the round, where punters Paddock get their first win of the season, defeating Gators Bitches 417.5 to 416.5. Well, if it wasn't for the manager of Gators Bitches, me, doing the last minute tinker, would have maybe won 2 games in the last 2 weeks, except for losing 2 games in the last 2 weeks by a combined total of 4 points. Anyway, punters, well, they were led by their skipper in Dawson. He got 105.5. And Big Lloyd Meek, he got his average versus the Cats. If you look at it every week, every year against the Cats, gets about 40 or 45. This time he got 49. Whitfield kept his high possession season going and got 72 as a midfield. For the Gators, Curnow finally hit some form. He got 59 as a full forward. And Lockie Ash showed that the GWS high trend in stat padding come good. He got 52 as a follower. Butters was excellent as a tackler, and he got 49. The optimised lineups are actually closer than the actual game. Game was decided by 1 point. The optimised lineup was decided by 0.5. Have a look at it. Big Eric comes in for full forward, and Walker goes to halfback. As for Gators, Norton comes in, and Butters and Newcomb, which is what I actually tinkered to with at the start of the round, or start of the game, they actually swap positions as well. And Grunty got a spot in the midfield. All right, so let's go to the fourth game. And it's this game is Rangers Anonymous, who actually enter the top 5 after getting the win over the highly fancied El Diablos, who look like to be a little bit of a limp conk at the moment, or last week anyway. Diablos were actually on track to get the lowest non-bye or injury-affected score ever until Wines went off with a heart problem, so technically got an injury, and that's why he got the lowest score. But he was on track, and he realistically would have still got it. As for Kenner, he was getting high optimised lineup scores for the first 4 or 5 rounds, wasn't winning, and now he's actually finally got a high score to actually match his line the high optimised lineup scores. So let's have a look at it. Not much to talk about for El Diablos. Sarong, Ryan, and Big O probably getting more than half of their score. They actually did get more than half their score. They got 122, 123. The rest of the team got 100 between them. As for Rangers, Bolton in a half forward, impressing his mate Cozzy, so they can play together next year. He got 60 as a half forward, and that's 2 good games in a row for Bolton actually. And Noah Anderson, he was great. He got 97 as utility, and Vlosten was absolutely amazing, and he got 78 as a halfback. Optimised lineups, Rangers would have had the highest score of the round with 464, while Diablos would have at least gotten 300. Amon would have been the utility, and Cripps would have come in. Taranto would move the utility for Rangers, and Viney would have got a run. Let's go to the last game. All right, so the last game, it sees Falcons continuing their hot streak while sending Seek and Destroy 2-game run of winning to an end. 394.5 to 346. Falcons led by George Hewitt, who has actually been amazing this year. He has the highest score, I think, in Supercoach. I believe he's in the top 5 disposals, contested possessions, clearances, tackles. He's gunning it. He's killing it. He is. Good pick, Fennick. Anyway, Green was great. He got 69 as midfield, and Blakey got 57 as a halfback. For Seek and Destroy, JHF did his job, got 45 as a half forward, while Dacos, he was amazing on Thursday night. He got 103 as utility. Drew also stepped up as a tackler. If we ever look at the optimised lineups, we'll see Waterman actually gets a run at full forward, because let's be honest, Tex Walker shouldn't be there. And Libba as a half forward for the Falcons. For S&D, Sanders makes his appearance, as does Stanley. All right, so let's have a quick look at the team of the round. It would have got 549.5. Curnow would have been the full forward. Pickett the half forward. Hewitt utility. Sweet gets the ruck spot, and Sherry as a tackler. So that's why Sherry would have got more as a ruck, but he was a better tackler. Whitfield and Dacos, they get the midfield spots, and Vlosten gets the halfback spot. So if we look at the ladder after 6 rounds, Gods, they remain undefeated. They got a 2-game lead over Falcons. Falcons have moved into second spot. Rangers, well, they move into the 5, and they have a game lead over 4 other teams. Punters, they get their first win for the season. And as we can see, after 6 rounds, Falcons are the highest scoring team, while Sugar Daddies, they've got some work to do. They are the lowest scoring team so far. Alright, so let's do a preview of round 7. Now, as I said, Mick wants me to do this pretty quick. So we've got some pretty good matchups, and especially with the AFL fixture in terms of ruckmen going against each other and stuff like that. And like for me, I think Lockie Neal might cop a tag. There's a few things that it could, a few different actual matchups that could affect our results this week. Let's have a look at Gators. They take on Falcons. The top versus bottom punters are looking to make it 2 in a row. They want to give Gods their first loss of the year. Seek and Destroy play Bombers forever. Sugar Daddies play a disappointing El Diablos. And Renegades play Rangers in the game where I always confuse the names. So I always say Renegades and Rangers and vice versa. Right, so let's have a look at Gators. They're losing Myers to injury. They do get Houston back. While Falcons, they lose Draper for the season. And Jackson, I believe he's still a week away. Punters and the Gods, no real changes from last week. Trelaw's still 1 to 2 weeks away. So they're probably going to go in, with their best lineups they can choose. S&D, they could welcome back Langford, who's a test. Bombers forever, they could welcome back Rochelle, who will be a welcome addition considering Darcy is out for the year now. Mills is still a few weeks away, but surely he's got to play the bunt in the utility position or somewhere. Who knows? Sugar Daddies, they could welcome back Mackay. The Fog is a test. He did do his shoulder. So we'll see whether he gets up or not. He did lose Fisher last week, but I don't think he's played Fisher all season anyway. And El Diablo, no real changes from last week, but Ryan Mansell is back from suspension. Finally, Renegades, hope to have Hogan back. While Rangers, they've got an interesting one. They've lost Bolter due to it being dark, as he has a curfew. While Cogs and May are tests. Alright, so that's it. As I said, a quick one today due to Michael being a sook. Good luck to everyone. Hope you have a good week. And see ya.